Duncan, can I trust you with something?
Yes, always. You know that.
I've been having dreams about Arrakis. I don't know what it means.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Alrighty, what is up, my artist? We're here to talk about Dune Part 1. Yes, I said Part 1 because everything has to be fucking parts now. Dune Part 2 is coming out as this recording in a couple weeks. When I put this out, it'll be a couple days from now. That's my plan is. So, a little backstory. I skipped out on Dune in 2021. Truly, it didn't seem interesting to me. I liked the cast. The cast looked very good. So, I skipped out on it because this is around the time where I was working a whole bunch and some of these big movies just weren't fucking interesting me. I was more into around that time when Dune Part 1 came out, I watched Last Night in Soho instead, which I don't regret. I still really enjoy that movie. Still recommend it to this day. But when it comes down to Dune, I watched for the first time today. Took me almost 3 years, but it's something. When it comes down to it, I don't really know the source material, so I was taking all this with a grain of salt and kind of just trying to understand while I was watching it, I guess. Which I know is what a bunch of people did, but really enjoyed it. For me, I will say the pros and cons. So, pros for me, it had great cinematography. The effects were amazing. Top tier effects, top tier cinematography. Just all around, it's a good film to look at. And I really think that a lot of films should look at Dune as a film that looks beautiful and looks amazing to just watch. And it's what a lot of films like fucking Rebel Moon fail to do when you don't have a great atmosphere and cinematography and fucking those aspects in your fucking film. It really damages it. So I really like the cinematography. The score was fucking amazing. It's one of the best scores I've heard, honestly. Dead ass. It's one of the best scores I've heard in the last maybe fucking 5 years, I would say. It's just a all around great score, and I think it's something also that films need to look at, because a lot of films just don't have great scores like this. This is an amazing score. An amazing score of music, and it was just great. And I understand why it's won a bunch of Oscars. I believe it's 6. It won 6 Oscars, which is understandable. I do very much understand that. So, and one more pro, the supporting cast is great. I enjoyed Batista. The little we got to see him. I enjoyed Zendaya. We didn't really get to see her too much. Maybe about a solid 10 minutes of screen time, if even. Which I believe she's going to be in the second film a lot more, so it's fine. It's cool, whatever. I enjoyed the mother character. I enjoyed the father character. I enjoyed the Emperor. I enjoyed Jason Momoa, probably the most in this movie, but he didn't last too long, so that kind of sucked. Yeah, overall, the supporting cast was really good. And even had Josh Brolin as fucking a character in this film. I was not expecting... I haven't seen Josh Brolin since fucking Avengers Endgame. So, I was not expecting Josh Brolin. And this film, I think, takes a lot of great acting choices and uses it to their advantage, I feel. Now, I do want to get to the cons. Like I said, I don't know the source material. And apparently the source material, especially the modern source material, is like a 900-page book. So, truly, I ain't reading all that. Like, not gonna lie, like, I'm not a book person, so I ain't reading all that. I barely, like, I like movies. I don't like reading. So if you're gonna harp on me for not knowing the source material, please, royally go fuck yourself, because I'm not reading all that. I really ain't. But the cons. I want to talk about Timothée Chalamet, because it might just be a thing where I don't like him, but like I just don't get the hype around Timothée Chalamet. I think he's bland. He's just not interesting as a main protagonist. His acting feels dry. It just doesn't... He doesn't seem, to me, as a great actor. Like, I have seen this now. This is the first thing I've seen Timothée Chalamet wise. And I've seen the trailer for Wonka. His acting style is just, it's very weird and bland. And I don't necessarily get it. I don't necessarily think he's a terrible actor. I think he has some talent, but I do think he's bland. That might just be me. I don't know. I truly don't know if it's just the movies I've seen. So, like, I don't know if it's just Dune and the Wonka trailer making him look like that to me. But truly, right now, when it comes to Timothée Chalamet, I don't really enjoy too much of his work, although I do think he has some talent. So, safe to say, I wasn't really invested in his part of the story, which was the main part of the story, which really sucked, because I tried to get invested, and for like, I would say about like 45 minutes of just seeing his story, I was kind of bored, because he seemed really boring, and really, it was just, I didn't see the emotion that everybody else saw. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong in this. It could just be the movie, and it could just be the trailer that I saw him in for another movie. I don't know. It doesn't seem to me like he's that great, but I'm still gonna keep my mind open when it comes to him. because truly I've only seen one full movie with him, and the only other thing I've seen is the Wonka trailer. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I plan on watching Dune 2, maybe in theaters, maybe not, I don't know. Another con was just the amount of story elements and length of the film that it explored. Like, the length of the film was long. It was 2.5 hours. It was long as fuck. And truthfully, I've been an advocating for just movies to at least be hour and 45 to hour and 30 to hour and 45 minutes. They don't need to necessarily be almost 3 hours long. Not every movie needs to be that. I can understand why some movies need to be that. But I feel as if some stories aren't truly meant to be fucking that long. So when it comes down to Dune, there's some elements I understand why it needs to be that long, but it at times in the movie, at very slow parts of the movie, I look at the time, because I was watching this on streaming. I didn't watch this in the theater. It probably felt different in the theater. That could also be my issue. It could also be my issue that it could have felt a lot different in the theater. Honestly, I would have loved to experience the score in the theater, because the score, like I said, was amazing. But I found myself, like, looking at the time of the movie that the movie had left at boring parts, and there would still be, like, an hour and a half left. And truly, I don't think every movie, especially if you're going to have parts that are just slow and just uninteresting for no reason, I don't truly think you need to be that long of a movie, if that's the case. Truly. And that's just my opinion. If you guys have different opinions, you're entitled to that. I'm not going to say that it's truly just an opinion that everybody should have. I think it's just my opinion when it comes to movies. I watch so many movies a year that when I watch a movie this long, it's a struggle sometimes, man. Sometimes I just want to chill out and watch an hour and a half movie. I think with a lot of movies going the route of being this long, it's kind of hard for me to just sit there and fucking, after a long day of work, watch a 3-hour movie. Like, that's fucking hard, bro. It's not easy, bro. But I will say, overall, even though it started off pretty boring, I will say I enjoyed Dune for what it was. I didn't enjoy it as much as everybody else did, truly. Like I said, there were some flaws. But I am interested in Dune Part 2. It comes out this year. It comes out in a couple weeks. So I'm interested because I've seen people already review it and say it's amazing. That's, of course, that's always their opinion, and truly it always is, but I've seen a lot of people say it's really fucking good and it's really amazing. So I want to put myself to the test and actually sit there and watch it. Probably in theaters. I don't know. March is going to be a month of just a lot of movies, I feel, theater-wise, because really February has only really had fucking Madam Web, I'm not going to lie. And that, from what I've heard, is pretty fucking bad. But yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. I wouldn't say it's the best movie out there, like a lot of people say, but I do understand why it has won some Oscars and I do think it's a good movie overall. But on that note, thank you guys for watching this Austin Artist review. We'll see you next week for another Austin Artist review. As always, thank you guys for watching, and peace.